Hey guys, Ernie here. Welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Every once in a while, you hear about a stove or you see a stove and you know it's going to be kind of a completely different animal. You know that you're in for something special. You hear a little bit, you get super excited, you see a couple of things online, and you get even more excited. So today we're going to check out a pretty awesome stove that I've had now for about 3 or 4 months. Been checking it out. I think you guys are going to like it. It's called the Lofi Stove. Stay tuned, we'll check it out. I've said it before and I'll say it again, one of the coolest parts of being a YouTuber in this space or this genre is being able to check out new gear, really cool gear that maybe other people haven't seen yet, and you get your hands on it and you get to test it out. I was approached by the inventor of this stove, a very nice gentleman. He said, we're doing a Kickstarter for this thing and we'd love for you to check it out. You do a lot of stove reviews, we think you'd like it, so do you want to check it out? He sent me a link, I took a look at it, and it's pretty freaking cool. Let me show you guys what he sent me. We'll do a little burning in it, and then we'll talk about what I think. So this is the Lofi stove. I assume it's Lofi. I don't think it's Lo-Fi. I think it's Lofi. It's not cheap, but it's not supposed to be. It is supposed to be awesome. And honestly, guys, it is pretty awesome. It's a stove. This is inside of a pot, okay? So it kind of has a standard titanium. I think this is probably a 750 milliliter pot. Okay, and then inside of the pot it is branded, as you can see. It's kind of cool. Just your standard 750 milliliter pot. Comes with gradations and everything, but you can get a million of those. What we're interested in is this stove in here. This is it. It is a small forced air stove designed specifically for backpackers. It's a biofuel stove, so it burns sticks, twigs. It can even burn pellets. It has a small internal fan underneath here. You plug it up to some kind of power source. This is a USB-C. And you can hook it up to basically any kind of power source. I'll be using just a little battery bank. You can also hook it straight up to solar panels if you want, and it'll work that way. It has this basically internal fan, gives you a constant airflow and increases the heat output. The other part of this is this little control unit right here. So this is the USB-C. This is the regular USB that hooks into your power bank. And it has this little dial here. And this dial is how you basically dial up how fast you want the fan to go. You can go low or all the way up to high. I'll show you guys that here in a little bit, what it looks like. As far as specs go, the weight with the cable is just under 150 grams or just under 5 ounces. Dimensions are 3.5 by 4.15 inches. You can see just how small it is. It's made out of titanium. It does have this separate ember guard, basically like a little screen mesh that stops little hot embers from coming out and going onto your very expensive backpacking gear. It has waterproof electronics underneath it. I wouldn't dip this in water, I assume, but it is waterproof, they're saying, so you should be able to get it pretty darn wet. It's safe to fly with, has a very low power usage. As I said, has the integrated speed controller here. Cost is $198, all right? This thing is not cheap, guys. Not cheap at all. And again, it's not supposed to be, but it is pretty darn cool. I'll show you guys the inside of it. You can see it is a double-walled stove. So that double-walled design allows a secondary air to be added to the fire and kind of increases the efficiency, kind of like a gasifier effect, or basically a gasifier effect. One of the cool things about it too, this thing can be fully on and burning, and you can hold it. It does not get hot underneath. It gets a little bit warm, but it does not get hot, and it will not burn you. You can grab the side of it when it's going hot, and it is not going to burn you, which is pretty darn cool. So that obviously means you can put this on pretty much any surface, and it's going to be okay. You still need to be careful, of course, but it is very cool to the touch. One of the most important things about this stove, you have to realize it is designed to run with the fan on. You have to have the fan on. If you don't, it will risk damaging the electronics inside. So when I run it, I start the fan right away. As soon as I kind of get a little bit of flame going, I start that fan up and it really helps it kick off. And it is like a little jet engine. I mean, it is pretty cool. So those are the components. You got the stove, you got the little ember guard, you've got the controller unit here. This is replaceable. They sell just this on its own. Again, $198, not cheap. We'll take this out. We're going to get it fired up. We're going to boil a couple of cups of water. And then we'll talk about what I think about it. It is a cool stove. It is very interesting, very unique. Let's check it out. I almost forgot they also included these Lofi snips. These things are really cool. They unlock right here. And basically it allows you to take, you know, little branches and snip them down, because obviously you need to have pretty small length sticks or twigs to fit inside the stove. It's not a big stove at all. And instead of having to sit there trying to break them, you can just cut them with this little Lofi snipper. Pretty darn cool. Did not know this was coming with it. Didn't exactly know what the deal was, but I figured that out pretty quickly. So just for y'all to know, you can also get this, and it helps really not only with this stove, but at any stove that's kind of smaller that you need smaller size sticks for. So as we always do, we're going to talk pros and cons, and we're going to start with the pros. First off, this thing is very innovative. I mean, all the parts and pieces, when you hold it in your hand, it is so small, guys. It's so small, it's so lightweight. You can hold it while it's on, and that is really cool. Got a very small footprint, like I said. It's got this speed or strength adjustment, this knob that allows you to change how much air is going through the stove. And it really makes a huge difference. You guys could see in some of the videos, it's almost like turning on a jet engine. It has that ember guard, which is very unique. It is pretty much ultralight, and it is cool to the touch at the bottom. Again, I stress that because you're able to put this stove on pretty much any surface you want to and use it safely. As far as the cons go, first off, it is expensive. And I said that earlier, it's not designed to be inexpensive. It's designed to be functional, unique. When you take a company like this, it's going to put a lot of R&D into this particular product, putting the electronics together at the bottom, which are heat-proof, weatherproof, that's got to cost money. Everything about this just kind of screams quality, so you know it's going to be expensive. It is relatively fuel hungry. When you crank that knob up, it really burns through the fuel. It's efficient. I mean, it gets a lot of heat out, but it does burn through the fuel. Given the fact that it is a new product, there's an unknown to it, an unknown reliability side to it. How long will that fan last? Will it work for a long time? We don't know. Seems to be very well made. You also can't use it without the power source, which is kind of a bummer. You know, I mean, it says you may damage the internals, but if you're spending $200 on something, you don't want to damage the internals. So I would use the fan. That's kind of a liability to some extent, but most of us these days, almost everybody is going to travel with some kind of a battery bank, even out in the outdoors. So I don't see it as a huge deal, but it is something to think about if you want to pick this stove up. So what do you guys think? I like the stove. I think it's pretty awesome. It's not for everybody. It is very purposely designed, and I think that the inventor said that. Look, this is a super small, ultralight backpacking stove. It's not cheap, and I don't think it's going to be. Like I said earlier, when you look at a product like this and a company needs to go out, make all these decisions, find all these vendors, make all these very specific designs, get them made, quality, it's going to cost money. So if you think it's too much money, then look, I get it. Just don't buy one. I don't think the company can put out a product like this for any cheaper than what they've done. I mean, they ultimately have to make a profit, right? That's what business is all about. So I think that the cost itself is very reasonable given what you're getting. You may disagree with me, but until you get your hands on one and use it, you really don't have the ability to say. I actually think I could see myself using this product on trail. A lot of things that I review, I like them, but I probably wouldn't take them out with me. I'm stuck on the things that I really like. I think this product is different. I love the snips. I love the ability to just cut things at a very small, you know, length. I think that was kind of a neat concept that they did with this. It's very strong and allows you to cut things very easily. That combination of the snips for any stove, much less just this one, plus this stove is something I really do think that I'll use. It's small, it's compact, it's powerful, and it's just freaking cool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I always welcome comments, so make sure you leave those down below. If you're not aware, I have a full playlist on stoves. We're getting close to 200 videos on that playlist, so check it out down below. All kinds of stoves, so check that out. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. Again, I know it's expensive, but I'm curious if any of you would consider getting this stove. If you do, I'll leave a link down below. You can check it out. It's pretty freaking cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos very soon.